What's up, beautiful BeawCast listeners? I'm so happy to see that you're back, and I hope you're happy to see us. Yes?
Yes.
How are you?
Really good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm actually super great because I think this segment of our podcast has kind of become one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. And this is the new segment, the second upload. And this is where we get to share community stories and stuff.
Yes, this is where we're trying to build a community, like you said. And I don't know what I should call this segment. So if you guys have any like catchy names that I should call it, let me know. Also, I'm going to test it out for a month, but keep continuing to give us feedback to let us know if you like the second upload and this comment.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those of you that missed last week's, basically what we're doing is we're going to be uploading 2 videos every week now, like moving on, because we've only been uploading once. So the first one will just be like off the cuff, where we're just having our regular conversations like before. But the second upload is going to be where I reach out to you guys, or vice versa. You guys reach out to us, and you guys let us know about anything that's troubling you in life, or something that you want a second opinion on, or
just anything you want to share.
Yeah,
that you feel like could benefit other people in the community.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to benefit other people in the community. It could just be something that you want to share. But yes, going on the community, I do want to build that up. I do want people to feel like, although they might be alone in their regular life, and they might not have a platform or a space to share, a safe space to share these things, I would at least want them to be shared here, and then we could talk about it, and hopefully you guys listening can take bits and pieces from it and apply it to your own life and learn from it. So that's kind of the goal here that we're trying to achieve. And yeah, like I said, it's one of my favorite segments. So should we just move right into it?
Let's jump right into it.
Okay. So I'm going to keep everyone anonymous just for their own privacy. And I do want to thank you guys for submitting. I know that it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of, strength to really look at yourself and be like, damn, this is the situation I'm in. It's either fucked up, or I hate it, or I need help. Like, just reaching out for help, I think, is such a courageous thing to do. So I definitely thank you for sharing. And I appreciate you guys trusting us to talk about this.
Yeah, and thank you for the honesty too.
Yes. Okay, so here we go. It says, my boyfriend of 6 years ended our relationship out of the blue a couple weeks ago. It seems like every time he gets overwhelmed and stressed, he ends things. He ended things 3 years prior because he was overwhelmed and depressed, but didn't know. But we got back together. And now I feel like this is the same thing. His friend told me that it's a guy thing and that he wants to figure out his future. I don't know what to do.
Man, it really depends like how old they are too.
Right.
Because if it's like junior high to high school, like that 6-year period, I've seen a lot of people break up and get back together. But I've also seen when people get older, they want to deal with less bullshit. So they're not going to go back and forth. Like if this is from 30 to 36, most of the time you're not going to break up at 33 and be like, 34, let's get back together. Yeah. You know, and the older you get, like at 50 to 56, they're like, okay, you make up your mind because I need to really settle down. I'm tired of this bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, is it a guy thing?
So that, I think I'm trying to look deeper into the root of it, which is the fact that she's even talking to this guy's best friend or friend means that she's trying to seek understanding that her man isn't giving to her, you know, because she's talking to the side now. And who knows if it's a guy thing or not. And in my opinion, I don't think it's a guy thing. And I think I don't really like blanket statements like that. I think there's it's more individual based. But the fact that guy got to step in, either he's a really dope best friend and he just doesn't, just wants her to help her understand. Yeah. Or he's just trying to cover up for the other guy's inability to be upfront with what he wants.
Yeah, because that's what I feel like. I feel like if I was in this situation and someone kept going back and forth with me, I don't know that I can tolerate that. Because for me, I'm just like, wait, am I not like, not that I'm not worth it, but I'm just like, I'm not like easily available like that. Mind you, I didn't have the best relationships growing up either. Like, not to say that I had like volatile relationships, but I never really fell in love with any of my guys. Like I was never really attached to them. So I could be completely out of pocket here and being like wrong. But at least for myself, I was like, wait a minute, I'm like I'm valuable. Like, I'm pretty fucking cool. I have my head on straight. Like, I'm a good girl. Like, I feel like anyone that's with me is, you know, like I'm a good thing.
Yeah.
So for them to like kind of not that he's toying around with her.
Yeah.
But I would feel like I'm like just being like played around with. Like, I need you when I want you, and when I don't want you, you're gone. Like, I don't like that.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. And to me, regardless of whatever the context is, I think there needs to be some hard line like rules that you can just never cross.
Yes, like some boundaries.
Yeah. So like, I think it's because if you say, hey, we're gonna break up only to get back together,
now you gotta mean
only
that
to break up, that you keep lowering the meaning of the word breakup in that relationship now.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you say it, it's like, okay, are you really gonna break up? Are we really gonna get back together? And like, and every single time that you said, oh, I love you and you love me, it also, the love doesn't really mean anything, because when you say you love someone, your definition of love that you're explaining in this specific circumstance is, when I say I love you, that means I can break up with you in 3 years and get back together, and then also want to break up with you again.
Yeah, that's annoying.
So like, you're really devaluing the word love or any type of affection that's expressed.
Yeah.
And this, so to me, like, you know, even when it's even fucked up when you go adopt a dog at a shelter, right? And then you're like, I'm not ready for this chow chow. Take it back to the shelter.
A chow chow, that's fucking cute of all dogs.
Yeah, and then like, and then a year later, you're like, I miss him again. Hopefully he's there.
Yeah.
Go get the chow chow. And then 3 years later, man, med school was hard.
Yeah.
You know, and that's with the dog. So if you can't even, like, to even have a pet, like, you need to have a good commitment. Like, it's like a lifelong thing for at least a pet, right? Like, if you need to be that committed to a pet already, imagine how much more committed. You can't be playing around with the human's feelings like that.
Yeah, I think it's fucked up. I think if it was if I was in that situation, I would take it as, okay, so then you're not that into me.
Yeah.
Cause I'm not, like, if I'm into someone, I was into you, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And because I'm so into you, I can't even imagine ever wanting to break up with you. Like, you're the person, if I'm going through some hardship, you're going to be my rock.
Yeah.
If it's not you, then it's going to be my best friend, but I'm still going to have that same level of like trust and like stability to come to you in a time that I'm feeling the most stressed out. Like, I can't imagine like wanting to be away from my significant other. Like, that's not a partner anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm like, a relationship is a partnership.
Yeah.
You know, the only difference between a friendship and a relationship is that you guys are fucking each other. Right? You guys are having sex.
And also sharing vulnerable, intimate thoughts.
I mean, but you can do that with your best friend.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It just so happens that mine and your relationship, we're each other's best friends.
Yeah.
But we have friends that they have their significant other, but they have their best friend, and it's a different relationship.
That's true.
Yeah. So I just feel like what the fuck? Like, what's going on? I think I would want to have that conversation with you. Like, if it's you going, hey, we need to break up, I don't know what I want right now, blah, 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 then I would be like, okay, let's talk about that. Why do you feel like breaking up is your only option?
Yeah.
Because maybe it's me. Maybe I'm doing something.
Every 3 years is a long time too.
Hell,
like
3 years was my make it or break it marker.
Yeah, this guy's spending a lot of time invested in this relationship. So like, credit to him that he's like, I guess, committed. But
he's not committed.
Yeah, he's not. But like, to be able to like just back out of a 3-year commitment every single time.
It just sounds like it's convenient.
I think that's problematic.
Hell yeah, that's how do you build a future with someone that's so quick to run away from
every
things?
3 years you're like, oh damn, is this breakup time again?
Yeah, that's part of trust.
Yeah.
I couldn't trust you. Like, how am I going to build anything with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know that for me in my previous relationships, this would happen all the time and not on purpose, but my around the 3-year mark was my make it or break it time. Like, I've only had long-term relationships.
Yeah.
So as soon as that 3-year mark happened, not that I'm looking at the calendar and going, it's that time. Are we going to make it? Are we going to break up? I'm going to break up. No, it would just naturally happen that way where I'm like, I'm over this shit.
Yeah.
And then I break it up. But to come back and forth like that just, I can't, there's no stability. Like, fuck that. I'm not going to trust anything. Like, I can't start anything fun with you. We can't do shit.
To get this guy's back, though.
Yeah, please get his back. Because I don't have his back right now.
To get this by, because we're hearing from one side, right?
Right.
So let's say this guy is super invested in this relationship, right? Super invested. And he has a lot of shit going on, highly motivated, and he wants to kill it in all aspects of his life. This girl is the only anxiety and stress causing thing in his life. And he's been killing it, and he keeps going and going, and until he's at wit's end. And he's like, God damn it, like, you're so naggy or whatever, and you're not adding any value to my life. Hey, we have to call it quits. But I still fucking love you. And then they call it quits. They get back together. I do want to see it to the end with you, but you got to stop being this negative part of my life. And she's nagging or whatever, and she's like taking him away from, like, not supporting him and doesn't add any value to his life. And he really wants to see it through, but she's the problem. What if there's that?
I mean, that's a possibility too. That's definitely a possibility. And of course, we're only hearing one side. But I'm just going to go based on this because it sounds like she's clueless. It sounds like she's like...
Well, the person that's causing problems is always clueless.
I mean, he could be causing problems too.
True. I'm just saying, but like, she's clueless, but she could be causing problems too. We don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, if there's a problem, it usually is both parties.
Yes.
It usually is both parties. But I think the part that for me, where I'm like, my advice would be like, yes, you guys should probably break up right now. Like, just because there's a breakup doesn't mean like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
You can always get back together. Like, there's no law that says once you break up, you can never get back with that person. But it sounds like both of them need to figure a lot of shit out.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to figure out where his head's at. Like, it's like, I'm stressed, so I gotta leave. I gotta do my stuff. And that I can't do that with you. Then she needs to be like, okay, like, damn, that sucks. I wish it could be with me. But I guess it can't be. So then cool. Like I'm going to go do my own thing and build my own life.
Yeah. Because if I take it for face value, he does seem like a wishy-washy ass bitch, right? Because he's like, hey, it's getting tough again. Get out of here. Getting tough again. Get out of here.
The way it was presented, yes, it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like. If I take it for face value and if I trust her.
Yes.
Right? But then I'm also thinking of the regular person. What regular person in their right mind is willing to invest 3 years into someone or even something only to get rid of it, only to reinvest another 3 years, only to go, so there's definitely things that aren't talked about.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I can, there's definitely more to the story, and I don't know if I can trust her and just be completely on her side.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, right? Because we only know one side.
Yeah.
So I can only go based on this, and my advice would be sit down, have a fucking conversation. Like, hey,
that's one of the hardest things to do.
It is hard, but that's where you're gonna get. Usually the hardest things, when you're done getting through that hardest thing, is when you've learned the most about yourself and you become a different person. So it's hard, but I mean, if you want a relationship, which is an adult thing, then you got to do adult shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sit down. Like, I would want to sit down and be like, hey, listen, I fucking love you, and you break my fucking heart every time shit gets rough and you throw me away, because I feel like you're throwing me away, and like, be vulnerable. Like, that's really hard, and I get that. It's really hard to do. Some people don't. I'm barely learning how to be vulnerable, but maybe writing it down. And like, just saying how you feel. I was like,
what if, because it seems like they have 6 years, so there's a lot of shit. What if they were to write like a deep letter to each other and they get all the thoughts down before,
like independently? Yeah.
Because if you just sit down and have a conversation, it's easy to turn into a nitpicky fight.
Absolutely.
Now, and you get caught off guard, and then it's a very non-productive conversation.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I know I'd probably feel attacked.
Yeah.
Right? Like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Because it's all like we were talking about now. Like, he said, she said, well, you did this, and you didn't see that you did this.
Because she could go straight into the meeting already. Go, okay, what does this motherfucker have to say for himself?
Right. And
that already puts everyone on edge. And then you're not going to get to the bottom of anything with that type approach.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. So I think maybe that writing it down, writing how you feel independently, and then sitting together, giving each other the cards. Go read it on your own. Read it on your own, and then you can come back and talk. And hopefully you guys can have a civil conversation. Yeah, I think that's all I got though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down to move into another story. So thank you for submitting that.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we can give you some insight. Unfortunately, because we don't know the whole thing, all I can say is definitely communicate, write it down, and see if you can come up with the reason why he does this when things get tough.
Then take a hard look at yourself too, because I am a firm believer that in relationship, no matter what, it's always a two-way street. So there's always something that you're doing that's causing the other person to behave unfavorably, no matter how strongly you feel about the other person. There's always that.
Yeah, there's always two. If there's a fight, it's always caused by two people. For sure. One person can't fight on their own unless they live in downtown LA and they see the imaginary people. But even in their imagination, they're fighting with someone else.
But yeah, but even if that person's fighting by themselves, if you just go and hug them, they might stop fighting.
Yeah. So good luck. Give us an update. I would love to hear what the outcome was, and and some feedback. Okay, so before we move into the next story, I do want to introduce our first sponsor. So our first sponsor is brought to you by Buffy, and I'm so happy with our Buffy comforter. I'm especially happy for Bart because they say that you get no more night sweats. Buffy is one of the coolest, cruelty-free, environmentally friendly comforters that I have ever owned.
They're actually very breathable for how thick they are, which is crazy because I'm super hot, right? But then the ironic part of that is even though I'm hot, it still gets cold. And these days in LA,
it's been really cold.
It's super cold. And then so now when I have a thick blanket, I need the thick blanket, but I also don't want to sweat in it. And it's been very breathable.
Yes, because they use 100% plant-based design to make it breathable.
Oh.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's awesome. And the Breeze is made of, or the comforter that we own is called the Breeze. And that one is made of eucalyptus fabric. Isn't that tight?
What?
Yeah.
I need to smell it.
Inside and out. It's softer than cotton, and it naturally softens your skin. I mean, you already have pretty soft skin, but I mean, you just need a little bit more moisturizer. But yeah, I absolutely love it, and I even love it more for you because of the night sweats. It's light. It's a beautiful design. Like it's white. It's not too cumbersome. And it always feels cool. Like
it looks expensive too.
As soon as it looks very quality.
It looks like it's like like at those really nice Vegas hotels. Yeah. It looks like those comforters.
It really does. And it has a little nice weight to it, so it doesn't feel like cheap materials. It's definitely high quality fabrics that they're using. So for everyone listening right now, you're going to get $20 your Buffy comforter. So make sure to visit buffy.co and enter code BEAW. Again, that's buffy.co and enter code BEAW, B-E-A-W, to get $20 off your comforter. Okay, and we're back. So yeah, that was a good one. Thank you. And again, I want to hear an update. So on to our next person. They write, excuse me. Wow, that's been the first one all day.
Oh, nice.
As a parent, okay, so bear with me here. Okay, I'm gonna try. As a parent, I feel like I'm failing as a provider, even though I'm doing my best. Since my kids have food, they have a place to live. Mommy and daddy have a happy marriage. So they're saying that mommy and daddy have a happy marriage.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I sometimes feel there's more, but I don't know where to start. So it sounds like they feel like they have more to give, or they should be accomplishing more, but they don't know how to get there. They just know that they just feel that they should be more of a provider. And this is, then he says, and it makes me a little ashamed of myself because I guess he feels like he's not living up to his potential. However, wifey says I'm doing a great job, but I still feel inadequate. He says, he feels inadequate as a father, as a husband, and as a man. He says he has a 6-year-old and a wifey who's 34 weeks pregnant with their second boy.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yay. I feel as I don't set a good enough example of being a man. Same as being a husband, like I should be doing more to hold it down for my wife.
Even though the wife is saying awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a silly concept, especially in the sense that my wife says I do a lot and all that. But something deep inside me still feels like, fuck, man, what I'm doing isn't enough. People tell me all the time it's a normal feeling to have, but maybe there's people out there that don't hear that. So.
I think what he's saying is extremely relatable.
Yeah.
Extremely. Well, okay. Yeah. So like, you know, I feel like we do pretty good for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I feel like myself as a husband and as a father, I think we have a pretty awesome house, and we're financially comfortable enough to be able to build like a custom pool and do all that. And so from people looking at us, they're like, oh man, they have it made, you know, goals. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think as a care provider, I'm never looking at like, oh, I need to get an airplane, or like I need to get a freaking giant like $2 million yacht. Like that's not even on my radar. But there is definitely more. You know, I think like when you're thinking about being a dad, you're for sure, it's number one, of course, is like food and shelter. Then you want to go, okay, how can I have more time? Like those main things are like the most you want to spend on your kids. You know, like now I want to have more time. So I know that if I'm always just working this much, I'll always be able to spend only this much time with my kids. So you come to this point where there's sacrifice where you're like, okay, when I'm able-bodied between the age of like mid-20s to like maybe mid-40s, I'll work my fucking ass off so that later on I could spend a lot more time with my kids when I'm less able-bodied. So it's almost like that, like the storage of the grains concept, right? Like right now it's spring, it's summer, so I'm gonna like reap what I sow as much as I can. So during the winter time, I'll have a bunch of grains ready for me, and we could chill and hang out. So even with me, like that's why I still hustle so hard, even though I know the flip side to that is, wait, but you're gonna miss out on your kids now. What about now?
Yeah,
it's a constant battle. It's a constant catch-22 battle that I think a lot of parents face. Do
you think, well, I don't know if it's maybe it is a parent thing, but I feel like it comes more from men. Do you think it's like a biological thing, you know, like the hunter gatherers, and then like the women stayed behind and they took care of the kids, and like they did like, and I'm talking about like fucking when we're like ago. Nomads, you know what I mean? Yeah. You think it might be something like that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's biological. I don't know if it's societal, like gender roles. I don't really know, but I can only speak for myself. And for myself, because I think, and so as a guy, thinking for myself as a guy, I think because I can't offer as much emotional wealth, I can offer more physical wealth. So in the form of like money, or actually providing, or building a house, or those things, like there's a lot of like other great dads out there that just spend a lot of time and take their kids to do all those things, and they're just more emotionally in tune. For someone that's like me, like even with you, like before we had a kid in the picture, I'm not good at sitting there and expressing like my love and writing poems and doing all that. You know, it's easier for me to work my fucking ass off and then buy you like a Louis Vuitton bag, even though it doesn't substitute for the other. That's just generally as a guy, like how I'm able to express my love. So because that's the type of guy I am, that's how I channel my energy, and that's where I feel like I'm able to make the most impact.
Yeah. What I do want to point out, and I can actually relate to that, because as you're talking, I'm thinking, man, but I don't think that way. But then I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Gio? Like, I was supposed to spend this time being a mom with Taika, you know, but here I am like trying to build side businesses and stuff, because I'm like, I also want to be a provider. I also feel inadequate. Like, I want to read blogs and books and stuff, so I know more about my child's development, and how I can help. Like, I also feel like,
you want to be set too, you know?
No, I get it. And as you were saying that, I'm like, oh shit, that's so true. I feel that. But I also went from that thought to going, wow, it's so beautiful of this man to think that way about his family. Like, it's unfortunate that he thinks he's inadequate. I think the vocabulary and the just the words in the script that I guess he's telling himself is kind of harsh.
That's the part that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of harsh.
Because if your wife should be the only person that really matters if you're a man or not. And if she's saying you're an awesome father, awesome husband, it sucks that he's that hard on himself still.
Yeah, so maybe ease off on the vocabulary and how you talk to yourself. And I know you don't genuinely believe that you're inadequate, but I think if we tell ourselves enough that the sky's purple and the sky's purple, one day we're like, oh shit, yeah, the sky is purple, and we're gonna believe it. So maybe like just taking the foot off the pedal there and not using that type of vocabulary on yourself. I know you're really harsh on yourself.
I am. That's what I'm saying. Everything he's saying is so relatable to me.
Yeah. But I think it's so fucking beautiful that you're striving not for yourself anymore. Like, it doesn't sound like he's doing it to prove something to himself. It sounds like he really wants to give the best life to the people that he loves.
Which is awesome.
And I think, like, just thinking about that, I could fucking cry right now because I think it's beautiful.
Just even him saying that, he's already above a lot of other dads out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of dads still, just even in our neighborhood, there's dads that are like, they work and then they come home and they're just sitting on the couch. How's the kids? All right. You know, and then they're just like that married with children, like that old time perspective of how dads are. Like, all right, come when you learn how to play catch.
Hey, don't knock the fucking married with children, right? He was still very involved in his kids'
He
life.
actually was.
Did you ever watch side here? But did you ever see like when Kelly would bring her men over, like her suitors over and shit, and then he would like see them, and then he would see them out, but he would grab them by the back of the neck and he would slam their head on the door first and then throw them out. Really?
That's funny. Yeah.
That was the fucking shit. I was like, that dad's fucking boss, because he's like, here, come here. He's like, I'll walk you out, and he would grab them by the neck. Yeah. And then he would slam their head on the door.
That's awesome.
And then he would like so they're all like dazed and shit, and then he would walk them out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love Married with Children, by the way, but yeah. I mean, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you suppress that? Because is it me going, you can't do more shit, you're missing out on your kid's life? Yeah,
because when you tell me I can't do more shit, my first thing is, but you don't understand what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it so that we can be set.
Of course I understand, but we're set now.
No, but we're not.
But we are.
We're not set.
What do we need? We have a car. We have food.
That's not paid off.
But can we pay it off right now?
This is my definition of set. My definition of set is there's 0 house payments left, 0 car payments left, and there's...
Then why do we get such a big house?
And we have a trust that is spitting dividends every single year so we can live off of it, and I can literally wake up and go, do I need to work today?
Oh, okay.
That to me is set, and that's what I'm trying to work after.
Okay. Because
the fact that, like, if we have, like, a few months of, like, I don't want to be shaken by the world. That's when it's set. If like algorithms change and then this happens, that happens, you're like, even that, like how are we going to make the payment? Even though we're pretty set in that way too. Like we have like probably like good 6 months to a year's of house payments. Like, so I can technically take an entire year off, but after a year, I got to really figure out how to, still cover ourselves. I don't even want that. I want to just be like, we're really set. Like, Justin Timberlake set,
unfuckwitsable.
Yeah, like he's like, I have a kid, let's move to Montana and live there for 3 years, and then we'll disappear from Hollywood and come back later. That's set to me.
Damn.
So like, I don't need to be.
I agree. By the way,
that's set, and also be able to afford an airplane for 3 years, but just being able, for our current standard of living, I want to be that set.
Then then you're just gonna let this voice eat at you until you achieve that. Well, not that it's eating at you.
Yeah, I don't let it eat at me, but it is something that it's constantly there, and so it makes me want to hustle that much more. Yeah. But I also know my upper limits. So what I don't want to be is to be the workaholic fanatic that's putting in 80-hour days and is completely gone from the kid's life. That's definitely not what I want to be either, But I kind of know where my upper boundary is. I know where my lower boundary is, and I'm trying to find that happy medium. Yeah. While still, and this is another catch-22. So there's the money and time catch-22, right? And then there's also the spending time with your kid, but also being a respectable person catch-22.
Right.
So like the reason why when my son grows up and he thinks, oh man, my dad's a fucking badass because he runs, he fucking trains, he does martial arts, like he's so dope. that's the same reason why I'm spending less time with him, because I'm doing those things. So that's a catch-22 too.
Imagine that when he becomes older, like what is he, 2? So in like 15 years, the popular thing is to be a good gamer and be sedentary. Imagine. And you worked all this.
It could be.
And you worked this hard, and he's like, God, he's so fucking lame. He's got all these muscles and he's fucking fast. Fuck, my dad. Why can't you just like not
No,
move?
that's impossible. You know why? Because even in the games, the lead characters are jacked.
Fine.
Call of Duty, when you pick a soldier,
hey,
you don't pick some freaking
nothing's impossible.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos eating dude.
This was impossible, and it was fucking became possible. A fucking computer.
Yeah, but I'm talking about primal, like.
Okay, I'll give it to you. All
primal,
You're right.
jacked dudes and chicks with big titties.
No, chicks with big titties are not in all over the world. Okay.
Chicks with fat asses.
No, not that either.
It's just so primal. It's hard.
No, it's not. But yeah, I get you. I get that.
So it's kind of like even with you, you know, like I want to spend so much time with you and I want to snuggle with you in the morning, but the same thing that prevents me from snuggling with you at 6 a.m., the same thing that makes me
6 a.m.
Yeah,
that's all fucking responsible
yeah,
hour.
the same thing that makes me go out and conquer the world at 6 a.m. is the same reason why you love me. And because you love me, that's the same reason why you want to snuggle with me at 6 a.m. If I was a lazy couch potato,
yeah, you're not going to be in my life.
And if I was snuggling with you 365, 6 a.m., you'd be like, oh, I'm snuggling with this couch, but I don't even want him. You know, so that's a catch-22 too.
It is. But let me stop you at the catch-22 because I do want to introduce our second sponsor.
Our second sponsor is Raycon and their wireless earbuds, which I freaking love because I don't know if you guys ever trained or tried running with like headphones that have cords. You're running and all of a sudden you pull on it and it yanks it all out. I hate it. Or I have a lever belt because I'm a power lifter, and so sometimes I'll snap it and it snaps the cord in half.
I've had that happen
and
to
now
me.
I can't listen to music anymore. So with Raycon, they are wireless earbuds by Bluetooth, and it connects very, very easy. And what I love about these is some Bluetooth, they don't last very long. These guys last for 6 hours. So if you're training like for a marathon like me, sometimes you're going to be on the road for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
This will last my entire marathon.
Well, what I like about it is that they're not hard plastic. It has that rubber tip.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the hard plastic ones never stain my ears. So I only go for the rubber tip ones because it comes with different sizes, like 3 different little tips.
Yeah.
And I get to choose the size that's perfect for me.
That's
not every
awesome.
ear hole is the same, everyone.
No, they're not. And so right now, if you go to buyraycon.com, that's RAYCON, buyraycon.com/Beaw, BEAW, you get 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Ooh. So go to buyraycon.com/Beaw, BEAW.
So you were sick these past couple of days, and yesterday, you normally train in the morning, but because you've been sick, you missed a training day. So
2 days.
2 days. Okay, sorry, 2 days. So when I woke up, you were in bed, and I was like so surprised but happy to see you. And then you were like, Mama, do you want to see me more in the morning? And I'm like, no, I think the weekend's enough.
Because you rolled over and your eyes, and I saw like so much joy in your eyes. I'm like, oh, I want Barbara to feel that joy all the time.
But if you're there all the time, you're gonna become the couch potato example that you just told me. And I'm gonna be like, bro, like, go do something.
Relationships are such a fine balance.
It is. It really is, because what you love about that person
is also preventing you from seeing them.
Yeah.
Because like when you love someone, you're like, oh man, this guy is such a passionate writer. You know, it's the same reason why I don't see this motherfucker. He's always writing in that room all day. And then it's like, well, do you want me to be that passionate writer, or you want me to be that loser that can hang out all day?
I know. It's fucking
such a crazy balance.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about life, right? Like, we can look at it as, fuck, man, it's such a fucking balance, blah, blah, blah. Or we can be like, that's what's so captivating about life. And that's what keeps us feeling alive, you know? Like, trying to like keep this balance and try to figure this shit out. And again, it's all perception.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's people out there that are like, fuck, man, I can't catch a break. And then there's people like me going, damn, that's fucking beautiful. Like, how exciting is that?
Yeah.
You know, like always finding the balance of things, you know, because like, where like there's no straight lines in nature. You know, everything's supposed to go up and down and curves and stuff. Like, nothing's a straight shot at all.
Yeah.
But no, I feel that. Like, I get it. So maybe it's a personality thing or person thing, but like for me too, I feel like I should be doing more.
Yeah, and I think it's so normal what this guy's talking about, because just even watching like that Kevin Hart series on Netflix,
the one that he did himself.
Yeah, It's like when you see a guy that has multiple mansions around the world.
He's worldly. He's known around the world.
And he's selling out arenas. I mean, if I had to do a wild guess, I think this guy is worth maybe 9 figures, maybe.
Kevin Hart, yeah.
Yeah. And I've heard him say he wants to be a billionaire. I'm like, what more do you want? He already has generational money. He already has enough money, not only for his kids, but for his grandkids, maybe even great-grandkids.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing it for money. I mean, yes, he's saying $1 billion, but probably not for the sake of $1 billion. But I think the fulfillment that kind of comes with that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, it's like, so same thing with this guy when they're like, I want to do it for more.
Yeah. It's
like, how much more do you need?
Yeah.
You know, so I do think whatever he's saying is relatable across the board, because even Kevin Hart feels it. You know, even Kevin Hart's like, I'm not doing enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Shit, so we have nothing to say other than damn, dude, you're not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
And if your wife thinks you're the fucking man, you're the fucking man.
You are the man, definitely the man. Keep doing you, but I don't think there's anything wrong with striving for more. I think there is something wrong though with feeling inadequate. I definitely do need, there's something wrong there, and I think you should definitely dissect that further and be like, why am I calling myself inadequate? You know, maybe you slipped up when you were writing it to us, but you should really dissect that word and see where that comes from.
Yeah, and I also think, also knowing if you do think you're inadequate, write down what adequate is.
Oh,
because you might not even be far away.
True.
Right? So like, if you do think you're inadequate, and then you're like, you know what, I only spend like 2 hours a day with my kids. What's adequate to you? Maybe it's like
2.5.
You know what? Or maybe it's like, I want to spend like 6 hours a day with my kids. 4 hours? I think you could brainstorm a way to get there in maybe like 6 months. Or maybe that's when you need a job shift, you know? Like one of Joe's cousins, they know they wanted to spend all day with their kids. So they formulated their life where I think both parents are only going to work 2 days out of the week. And they mapped out their accounting, their money. So they had a goal. And once they had a goal, they figured out how they're going to achieve that goal. And so they homeschool their kids and do all of that. So you're always going to be inadequate if you don't know what your goal is. So for me, I know I need $10 million to be set. So I know that how are we going
to do that, baby?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay, cool.
But I know that what I have to do to get there. Mm-hmm. So at least it won't be one day I'm sitting on 15 million and I'm still trying to hustle my ass off. You know, like I think it's because then there's really never going to be enough. And then that's pretty much when you get into like this negative vicious cycle. But knowing what adequate is so that you know how close you're getting to it too.
That's dope. I love that, baby. That's what I like about you too. You always have your goals, and like you never negotiate with your goals. I fucking love that about you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Like even with this whole marathon thing, like it's a bucket list thing, right?
I just complimented you, you shithead.
I know. I said thank you so much.
I know. And then you moved on so fast.
No, I was adding on top of it.
Did it sink on it? Did it sink into your heart?
Yeah.
Really? Did you feel it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go.
So even with like the marathon thing, that's something I've been battling for years, right? Like I'm like, I always suck at cardio sports and I don't have endurance. I don't have cardio.
You're not a man.
So I've always wanted, I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. Like, I don't want to keep having to tell this same stupid story to myself over and over and over. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to do a fucking marathon, which is a cardio sport. But once I do it, I know it's not going to become this addicted drug and I got to do 2 marathons and 3. And you know, it's just, that's it. That's all I wanted. I just want to benchmark myself and prove to myself that I don't have to shy away from endurance and cardio sports. And that's it. And then so it doesn't become this unhealthy thing where I constantly have to do this and now I'm obsessed and now I'm like taking time away from my kid and all that. Like I'm already planning the things I'm going to do once I have to stop running training. And I'm like, once I stop this running training, I could already have an extra hour a day with you and Taika. And it makes me so happy to know that I'm already going to do that.
That's cutie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And what I think is also super dope and super helpful when I feel this way or when you feel this way is that we have each other to hold one accountable, and 2 to be like, yo, take the fucking foot off the pedal, bro. You need to slow down and you need to come back to us.
Yeah.
Like you did that with me when I was like doing the whole not that you had anything to do with the whole hey bitch thing, but like that. And then I wanted to start something else, and you were like, hey, like we want to see you too. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. Like I'm trying to take on too many things.
Yeah.
And even with you, I'm like, okay, this year you're not gonna do anything else. We're from fucking as soon as you get home at 7 o'clock and on, it's family time. No ands, ifs, or buts. You know. And I think having a really supportive, understanding partner. And respecting your partner when they say, like when they set these boundaries, I think is really important. Because if I set these, or not set these rules, but like if I try to set a boundary, or if I try to like do something for the family and you don't support that, that's bad.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the fact that like you respect what I say, and I'm like, hey, I really want this for us, and you're like, yeah, I'm for it. Like
I think that's what's
it makes
cool
it beautiful.
Too. It's being able to set your goals, my goals, and our family goals, and make sure they're harmonious.
Yeah,
I think that's important too. Not like, because if my goals are pulling away from the family goals, which are pulling away from your goals, then it's not gonna last.
No, it's disjointed and it's destructive.
So one of the things that made me so happy is the weekends we always try to make it family time. And then I'm like, oh man, I gotta go run. I have to put in these miles. And you're like, I'm just gonna jump on a bike with Taika.
Yeah, because I support you.
Yeah, and then so that was so cuny because our family time goals wasn't sacrificed for my running goals. So I'm just running, and you're with Taika.
And I get my fitness goals.
Yeah, and it was so cool. It's like all of us are hitting our goals together. It was so awesome.
Yeah, there's always a way, you know. And sometimes we get stuck in our own like little ego, or we want it to be our way. But over the years of just being in a relationship with you, and like just you challenging me so much, because I've always kind of been the dominant one in my relationship. So no one's really challenging me, or I just wouldn't allow the challenge to happen.
Yeah.
That with you, I've had the most growth, and like I've realized to make any sort of relationship work, it has to be, I don't want to call it give and take, but there has to be like mutual respect, you know, where like mutual respect and then mutual support.
Yeah.
Because then like I could have been like, he's always choosing running, you know, and I could have been pouty. So now I'm pissed. Our relationship suffers. I'm blaming it on you. Taika doesn't get the cuniest mom.
And then when I run, I'm feeling guilty.
Yeah, so you feel bad. You're not going to want to achieve any more goals, because now you're just like, fuck, look what I did to my family, because I'm blaming you, which is not fair. Taika doesn't get the good mom. I'm not getting any fitness or anything in. I'm going to be upset. Like, it's all fucked up, you know? But because I love you and I support you and I respect you, I was like, well, we can make this work. Like, let's all do it together. Like, I'm not going to run with you because that's not my current goal, but fitness is still my goal.
Yeah.
I can do that.
That's cuny.
Yeah, because you do that with us too. Like, if there's an obstacle, you'll move any mountain so that you can be part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love you for that.
I love you for that.
Yeah. Okay, and on that note, we're going to introduce our next sponsor.
This podcast is also sponsored by Noom, which is one of my favorite sponsors, because it helps you get fit and helps you achieve your goals, which is what I'm all about. And a lot of people have a hard time because they're troubleshooting it in very isolated ways. Just a diet, or just a workout plan, or just my lifestyle. You actually have to troubleshoot everything. And that's what I like about Noom, because it takes everything into consideration, even the psychological stuff. So Noom is a habit-changing solution that helps users learn to develop a new relationship with food through personalized courses, and it's based in psychology. So it teaches you why you do the things you do and empowers you with tools you need to break bad habits. So are you randomly eating that cookie, or are you eating ice cream when you get stressed out? It helps you adjust your lifestyles to achieve your goals. And for a lot of people, they're like, oh, if I want to achieve my fitness goals, it's very overwhelming. Well, guess what? You don't have to change it all in one day. Take small steps to make big progress. Sign up for your trial today at noom.com/Bail, BEAW. That's Noom, NOOM.com/Bail, BEAW to start your trial today.
Okay.
This one's action packed. We got 3 of them this time.
Yeah, this is awesome. You guys submitted so many good questions and stories and stuff. Like, it was hard. It was hard to just pick, these 3. There's so many more I want to do. Okay, so this person writes, firstly, I would like to thank you for being such inspiration. Oh, thank you for being such inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think I know what I want to do with my life. Yes.
Sick.
But I just can't seem to find the motivation to get started. I want to stream games, but I'm scared of getting judged or rejected. I don't feel like I'm good enough, all good looking enough. Or I think she means or they mean or good looking enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they write, and this is all this is all going while I'm 29, so I'm very lost at the moment. Well, I wouldn't say you're very lost, because
some successful people are ugly as fuck.
I'm looking at their picture and they're not at all ugly. They're not at all ugly.
Yeah.
You know? But yes, you're right. You're right. And
and I'm saying that not just for a joke, even though it's funny, but I'm also saying that I think like whoever submitted this needs to just strike that out. Like,
well, we're
like the
all
reason
ugly
why,
to someone.
Like the reason I'm not successful is because I'm not good looking enough. That just needs to be, that's not a boundary you should set.
Yeah.
Because that's already gone.
Yeah. Fuck, what's her name? Dita Von Tess or Tees. Sorry if I'm saying her last name wrong, but so she says you can be the most ripest, juiciest, yummiest peach in the world.
Yeah.
And someone out there is just not gonna like peach.
Yep.
And that's so true. You know what I mean? Like we're all ugly to someone, so don't even trip. You know, like I'm ugly to a lot of people. You're ugly to a lot of people. Thank you, baby. But I'm also attractive to a lot of people, and you're very attractive to a lot of people. So I don't think that should be the focus of it. And then saying I'm 29, 39, 29.
The core of what she's talking about, though, I think
29.
there's definitely a lack of confidence, which
Absolutely.
is extremely normal. And what she's experiencing for anyone jumping into the entertainment influencer performer space is so it's super understandable and relatable. Like me and Joe experienced the same thing, although it doesn't seem like we are. But like because you know when you first want to do something and you go, oh, I want to be a gamer, I want to play guitar, I want to do this. The next step is you take a step into that realm and you're like, fuck, there's thousands of these motherfuckers in here. How do I set myself apart? And then, so it's so easy to go, oh, well, she's hot. He's buff. This guy's funny. Then now you're looking at everyone's strengths and then you're measuring their strengths against your own. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I don't have any of these. And now you're down on yourself. And then now you're put in the position in where she asked this question, where it seems like, I want to do this, but I don't think I'm equipped to do this.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah. I think the easiest answer for that is you just have to do it. Like you said it in a previous podcast. Like, what's the fear thing?
Oh, action is the enemy of fear.
Yeah, it trumps it. It absolutely trumps it. And yeah, like it's good that you already know that you're setting yourself up to be put in a very vulnerable and exposed position. But I think what you're saying is completely true, is that she's measuring herself against other people. But the beautiful thing
against
about
other people's strengths.
But the beautiful thing about her is that okay, it's a her, because I kept saying they and I fucked up, but yeah. But the beautiful thing about her is that she's the only one of her. You know what I mean? Like you just have to go out there and do it.
So speaking of your one of one, I think one thing that people don't do enough is they immediately want to see what's out there, and they take what's out there and then they hold themselves to that standard. Mm-hmm. And then that's where you're already in a defensive position and you're not flexing on what makes you you.
Yeah.
So what I would do, like if I was your manager and you're my talent, the first thing I would do is sit down with you and go, okay, what are the things that makes you really unique? Are you funny? Are you good with relationships? Do you know how to juggle? Like, what are all the things that make you unique? And that's your voice. Because if you go maybe even like 20 years back and you go, hey, there's going to be a guy that's 5'3" that's going to be a leading man in some of the biggest comedy movies, people will laugh at you.
Yeah.
Right? But Kevin Hart, he found a way to go, you know what? Yeah, I'm short. And yeah, I clown on myself. And you know what? Not only am I short, I'm also a little bitch. And he built his entire career on that. And from a place where Eddie Murphy was like a fucking pussy slayer and he was a sex icon.
He had pussy falling out of the pockets. That was one of his jokes.
From that point, no one would have guessed in a million years. Some like people in that era would be like, there's no way there'd be any room for a mega star to be like Kevin Hart. Yeah. But he found what made him unique. He goes, you know what? I am vulnerable. That is who I am. And when I get into fights, I get beat up.
Yeah.
And I'm short. And he flexes hard on all those things, and he shares, and he's super raw and open with this relationship, and he shares all that stuff in his stand-up, and that's what makes him who he is.
Yeah.
So I think that's and because he's flexing really hard on his one-of-oneness, that's what makes him successful. So I would actually, yeah. So like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is doing what out there. Look at yourself. What are the things that make you who you are? So for me, I think what makes me one of one is I'm a funny guy that likes to lift, that's prior military and Asian, right? Those 4 things already make me very unique from anyone in the fitness space, anyone in the comedy space, or anything like that. So I just flex on those things more. And maybe I will be super big one day, but even right now, it already puts me in a position where people will go, you know what? Bart's not replaceable. But if you try to compare like your titties to the big tittied girl, or this person to this person, there's going to be so many of those people because they're all valuing those things, and you're not flexing on how unique you are. Yeah,
I would agree to that for sure. And I think that's a really good idea of creating a list of things that make you. And I know that's going to be a hard list to come by because a lot of us aren't sitting there going, this is what makes me different than that person. And it takes a lot to dig in there and do that. But maybe you can start with doing things like, well, what do I enjoy?
Yeah.
What are my hobbies? And why do I like those things?
And you know what's dope about this is that you're approaching uniqueness from a place of truth and honesty.
Yeah.
You're not trying to create this character.
It's authentic.
Yeah. Like we had JK News, Tahir on JK News, and you would have never thought that he loves Star Wars and Power Rangers.
He's
but
pretty
like,
geeky.
Yeah, but he's like, I fucking love that shit. Yeah. And that already separates him from every other like stand-up comic that is like a very like roast heavy, you know?
Yeah.
Because like now he's like, now there's so many people that relate to him so much.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, right? Like not everyone has to be like, I understand that you want to be a gamer, but maybe your personality is not like being in front of the camera might not be good for you. You know, because it takes even for me, being in front of the camera is not something that I ultimately enjoy and I strive to do. Like, I never wanted to be an entertainer.
The comments are vicious out there.
They are.
No matter for anybody.
Already, I didn't want to be an entertainer. And when I started, I was kind of thrown into the space out of necessity. But the thing that kept me in it was a bigger purpose. The purpose was like, oh, we want to pioneer this style of comedy, or we want to build this type of community. So that bigger goal is what kept me in the game, not the fact that like I was enjoying that one little thing that I was doing on camera. Because if I had been thrown into the space and there is no purpose for me, I wouldn't have survived this long.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to be here and I'm getting attacked. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, get me out now.
Yeah.
But like seeing what your bigger purpose is, if it's because you feel like you can really connect with people via video games and you hone in and you focus on that, then fuck yeah, you're going to make it. You're not going to give a fuck who says what about how you look like, because you're going to be so focused on fulfilling people's lives or connecting with people and inspiring them via gaming that you're going to be like, okay, well, cool. I mean, I'm still looking at this. You think I'm ugly, but I'm looking at this, you know? So I think that's something else you want to really sit with and be like, wait, why do I even want to do gaming? Is it because it's easy and it's going to make me a lot of money? Is it because I really enjoy it, or I'm fucking really good at it, or because I can connect with people this way?
Yeah.
And then really focusing on those areas and saying, okay, so it needs to be a bigger purpose is my point.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Thank you. Yeah, I like get really passionate about this stuff because it makes me so sad when I hear people cut themselves down so quickly. Like I was one of those people, and I still am, you know, like I'm not perfect in any regard, but I'm easier to catch when I'm cutting myself down. And it was so detrimental to my growth, so detrimental to my mental health, so detrimental to my relationships with you, with my son, with my mom, with my friends, that like now when I can see that I'm doing these things and I'm cutting myself down again, I'm limiting me, which means the capacity for me to love the people around me is fucking limited. And it makes me sad because I'm like, damn it, like I feel so much happier now, and I feel lighter, and I feel like I have so much more to give, and I'm proud to give it, and I see that I have that to give, that I'm like, oh my God, I see it in so many other people, and I want you to be able to give at your highest capacity. So like, thank you for submitting. And I think, just figure out why it is that you want to do what you want to do, and make sure it's fulfilling to you and it's going to bring happiness to you, and everything else will will really fall by the west side. West side.
By the waist side.
The waist side. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's it.
Yeah. So thank you so much, you guys, for being so candid, so vulnerable, so open. I absolutely love that we get to share this because you're not alone. We're all going through our own thing. We're all fighting our battles.
Yeah, the gamer struggles you're going through is the same thing as someone trying to become a doctor, you know? Like, yeah. With this person's parents are doctors, grandparents are doctors. I'm first generation. Yeah. Like, you know, it's
how do I compare
the same
to them?
Struggle. Everyone's going through the same shit.
Yeah, and not to minimize what you're going through in any sort of way, because we all feel things very, very differently. But definitely to tell you that you're not alone. So thank you so much for listening. And yeah, give us some feedback. This is a new segment for us. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if we should keep this up or be like, nah, bro, this is boring. We missed the roasty, you guys, or whatever. We're not going to take anything to heart. We know that you guys love us and you want nothing but the best for the entire community that we're trying to build. So yeah, be open with us. Let us know. You can send us a DM. You can follow Bart at on Instagram, yeah, at Bart Quan, or me, Gio_Antoinette. And yeah, let us know what's up. Special thanks to our sponsors. First of all, it's Buffy for $20 off your Buffy comforter. Visit buffy.co and enter code BEAW, BEAW.
And a special thanks to Raycon, raycon.com. You get 50% off your order for wireless earbuds. That's buyraycon.com/BEAW, BEAW.
And last but not least, to Noom. What do you have to do, or what do you have to lose? Nothing. Just visit Noom.com/bear to start your trial today.
And our very own brand, Barbell Brigade. Shout outs to them for sponsoring this podcast too. Anything that you need as gym related, knee sleeves, wristbands, wrist straps, t-shirts, hoodies, pre-workout duffel, we got you covered. Even boxing gloves coming. So anything that you want. And if you're in LA, get the best workout of your life at Barbell Brigade Gym, barbellbrigade.com. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.